So just hoping it's not gonna lag or mess up. But I came on here to talk, of course. Um, I don't even know where to start. I was just texting back and forth with my dad, and I'm like, does this man have the capacity to just listen? You know, how sometimes you just want your parent to listen to you and hear you and care, right? And even offer some valuable advice, which is something that you would hope a parent could offer their parent, right? They're older than you, so they should be wiser, of course, right? And you just look to them for advice, even comfort, right? No, no. Like, it's like I can't even express myself to my dad without him interjecting about himself. You know, we ended our text message with, he said, have a good night or good night, right? With some sleepy emojis, like he was getting ready to go to La La Land. And I said, well, maybe a good night for you, not for me. You know, I said, I'm in room. And he came back and what do you, what's going on? What do you mean? What's going on? I thought you were in your own place and I thought you were working and I thought this and that. And I'm just like, my whole, basically, not my whole life, but a lot of my life is online. Do you know what I'm saying? A lot of my life is online. And I have family members who literally pretend to not see me. I have family that pretend to not see what's going on with me. And I literally am talking to my dad via text message. And he's, what do you mean you're in a room, your room full of guys and what's going on? What's going, it's like, do you, I have family that pretend to not see me so that they don't have to get involved or so they don't have to offer advice or offer, you know, I guess I'm always a person that usually figures things out for myself, right? I've always been the very independent, very like fixer. Right? I solve problems. I'm a good problem solver. I've been doing it for a long time. That's how I've made it this far on my own, right? With the help of some things here and there. But it just sucks. Like when you feel that you can't even talk to your parent, you can't even get advice from them because they're so wrapped up in their own world, warm and cozy in their beds, and you know, wrapped up in the world. It's like they don't even hear you. They don't even listen to you, and they pretend to not hear you. How do you not know what's going on with your daughter? We talk, we text. A lot of my life is online. How do you know? Even my mother knows that. in a group chat, my mother literally says, "Oh, well, she's on social media." I never see a comment or pop up or anything. Right? So I'm assuming that she must be behind an anonymous account watching me. A lot of family watch me, but they pretend to see me. And I think that's very interesting. I guess my life is a bit of a show with everything that I've gone through. Um, I literally sent a text message like just seconds ago. What's going on? You sound homeless, or you sound like you're go. Why are they pretending that they don't see what's going on? Have any of y'all ever experienced anything like that, where you have family members that pretend that they don't know what's going on with you, and I guess they pretend to not know what's going on with you so that they don't have to get involved, or so they don't have to offer advice, or so that they don't have to care. I don't know. It's interesting. It's interesting. Um, that's why I go it alone a lot, y'all. And I know I'm not the only one that does this. You know, I think that's what has me so strong in my life. I go it alone a lot. Um, I'm not the only one that does that. I'm not the only one that's been hurt a lot. I know I'm not the only one that's been through a lot. And I think that's what keeps me going, knowing that there's somebody that has it much worse than me. And so just knowing that makes me strong. Like, well, I could definitely be worse, you know, on the street. I could be. This is okay, lady. Sorry if it's kind of loud, y'all. I stepped outside. Um, but yeah, you know, I don't even know what to say. Alive where I don't know what to say. That's so not like me. How can your parents not know what's going on with you? And you're all over the internet. Or how, well, I'm not going to say my mom, my dad. Come on now. This is ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. I don't know what to say, y'all. I'm on the live and I don't know what to say. But if you've looked at any of my last videos, then you would see in videos how a nice guy helped me when I was standing outside my place of employment. Like I got kicked out of the motel lobby or whatever. Got the cops called on me, all kind of crazy stuff. But that's in the previous video. You have to check that out. And so a nice guy asked me if I was okay, and you know, was like, you shouldn't be standing out here like that, and you know, if you need help, I can help you. I'll help you. And he was really, really nice. And they've been helping me for a few days now, just in regards to like shelter, right? And they've been very respectable, very mannerable, very, very nice. And I appreciate that because I was nervous about it. You know what I mean? A female around a bunch of guys, you know, you get nervous because you don't know what may happen, what could happen, what you just don't know, right? So, but like he just kind of took everybody out of one room and let me be in the room myself, and so that I would feel comfortable. And like they were just really, really sweet. They're really, really sweet guys. and I really appreciate it. So I don't know. I guess I just kind of came on here to vent because it just seems like I can never talk to my parents. And I know I'm not the only one, you know what I mean? I think that's why I talk about my grandma a lot. If you watch any of my videos or you see anything that I write about I talk about my grandma a lot. Probably more than my parents. And I believe it's because my grandma is a very strong figure in my life. And she's been a strong figure in my life my whole life. And she's been very constant in my life, like a parent, but she's my grandma. Like I always said, I can't remember one show that I performed in that my grandma wasn't there. I can't remember one graduation I graduated from that my grandma wasn't there. Even college, I can't remember doing anything of high magnitude or low, whatever, and my grandma wasn't there. It wasn't a part of it. Like, she was just there every step of the way, you know what I mean? Very present in my life. So much so to, like, I would tell my mother about certain events or whatever, and my mom started questioning, well, where was I? Did that happen? Well, where was I? Did that happen? Well, where was I? I said, I don't know where you were. I said, but I was with my grandma. I knew where I was. I was either with Anna Doris, which is my cousin Vet's mom, who nicknamed me Sweetie Pie. I love her so much. So I was either with Anna Doris, which is also an elder, or I was with my grandma. And from a young age, I was labeled Miss Nikki, because even though I was so young, I was told I have an old soul and I carried myself like a little lady. So I was labeled Miss Nikki from like 6 and 7 years old. But now that I'm thinking about it, it's probably because I hung around a lot of elders, like Annie Doris, like my grandma Willie Mae, you know, my great aunt Albertine, and I hung out around with a lot of elders. And I guess the parents, they were just kind of, you know, doing their thing, hanging out, running the streets or whatever. I guess they always knew they could just drop their kids off at grandma, right? Or Anna Doris or whatever, so that they could run the streets. Because, you know, back in the day, a lot of parents had kids early, you know? Like my mom had my brother when I think she was 17 years old or 18 years old, one of those. So back then, everybody like got pregnant young, they had kids young. So basically they were still growing up, right? With their kids, basically. So when you're 17 and 18 and you're a parent, you know what I mean? Then you will, I guess, pass your kids off to a elder aunt or elder cousin or a grandmother, right? So that you can still be young and do your thing. So I guess that's kind of like how it went, because my parents were very young and my aunts and uncles and everybody had kids young, and so we were with our grandma, you know? And so I guess that's why when I speak about my growing up and everything, I talk about my grandma a lot, because she was like the strong constant in my life always. And so which I'm actually glad about that. I'm proud of that. I'm proud that my grandma has had such a strong influence on me, because she instilled in me strong work ethic and education, class, grace. She instilled so much in me, and I'm grateful for that. So I don't know how my life would have been if I didn't have my grandma, you know? She definitely unconditionally loved me all my life, you know? There's a difference between love and unconditional love. A lot of times people will love you with conditions, but my grandma loved me unconditionally. Unconditionally, she loved me. My grandma was at my wedding when my own parents weren't. Do you hear me? My grandmother, Willie Mae, was at my wedding when my own parents weren't. Did you hear that? So yeah, my grandma is a very, very strong figure in my life. You know, unconditional love. You only need one person to show you unconditional love so that you can show it to others. And my grandma was that person. And I think that's why I don't allow my heart to turn cold towards people, even when they do me like dirty and do me wrong and, you know, treat me really bad. Like, I may not, I'll take the hint, erect boundaries, and keep a distance from you because I understand that you can hurt me, right? But my heart will never turn cold towards people in general because I know not all people are like that. You know what I mean? And my grandma is one example of one person who's not like that. So I know that there are other people like her, like me, right? Regardless of what people do to you, that's so horrible, right? So I think that if I didn't know what unconditional love was, I think it would be easy for my heart to be cold. And I think it would be easy for me to like just be, I guess, mean and nasty, I guess, or maybe even miserable or depressed. You know what I mean? But I'm not. It smells like rain. It smells like it's gonna rain. I smell rain. And you ever hear that when people say stuff like that? Oh, it smells like it's gonna rain. It smells like rain is coming. That's what it smells like. Hi, how are you? Cute cat. He's walking his cat. But yeah. Sometimes a kid just wants to be heard. Even if you're a grown kid, right? Sometimes you just still want to be heard by your parents. But I just think sometimes people be so caught up in their own world, in their own life. And again, like I said, I think because people are so used to me being strong all the time and figuring things out and getting out of difficult scenarios and putting myself in better situations and, you know, without them knowing anything, right? Just do it. And I guess in their eyes, they're just glad that they didn't have to, you know, lend a hand to help. You know what I mean? Oh, okay, I'm glad you're okay. I'm so glad I didn't have to lend you a hand. You know what I mean? It's like, damn. And it's not to, you know, shade my parents or make it seem like they're not shit, because that's not true, you know. I always tell my parents, you did the best with what you had and what you knew. Because a lot of times parents don't know everything, right? Of course we don't know everything. A lot of times parents aren't raised with unconditional love to be able to give it to their own kids, right? So if they don't know what it is, they can't give it, right? If they're not good communicators, then they're not going to know how to communicate, right? And the list goes on and on. You guys know where I'm going with it, right? So it's definitely not to bash my parents and, you know, try to make them feel like shit, because it's not that. I'm just a kid, their kid venting, that's all. But, you know, we all have different experiences and we all go through different things. I'm sure a lot of stuff my parents went through, I've never been through before. You know what I mean? And vice versa, right? A lot of stuff I've been through, they probably never been through before, right? But relationships are hard, right? especially when you are on different frequencies. And what I mean by that is, sometimes just like you can outgrow a spouse or you can outgrow a friend, you can outgrow your parent. Sometimes parents don't evolve. It's true. Sometimes parents don't evolve. Sometimes they kind of stay stuck at a certain age or stuck in a certain mind frame, right? And it's hard for them to kind of break away from that, especially if they've been conditioned to it for so long, and so their shell has hardened to that, right? So it's hard to break them. Their mold has hardened that way, right? And then you come with these new age kids growing up, learning all this new different stuff and trying to teach them, but they still back there, and we moving up here. So it's gonna be a bit of a clash. But I think that as long as parents are willing to hear their kids out, hear them, listen to them, sympathize with them, empathize with them, have compassion towards them, you know what I mean? And willing to offer some kind of advice, even if it isn't, here's some money or here's this or here's that, just willing to offer some kind of guidance or support, you know what I mean? It'll still make a kid feel good about the situation. But yeah, I told my dad, I said, yeah, you having a good night? I said, I've been in a room full of guys, but thank God they are, like I said, mannerable and respectable and nice and kind and compassionate, very sweet. So I guess I lucked up in that aspect, but I am looking to move on soon. Hi. But I am looking to move on soon. I have to. I'm just used to kind of being in my own space too, As a female, we definitely should be in our own spaces, And so, I don't know. A lot of times I don't know. But I work my way through it, and I stay positive during the process. And just in knowing that there's somebody out there that has it worse than me. And yeah, I didn't come on earlier today to do my live because the internet was just so choppy. It was like a firewall or something. It was so choppy. It wasn't letting me do it. And even when inside just now, it was kind of lagging. So that's why I came outside. I know it's noisy. I'm sorry. I know it's noisy. But yeah, I just came on. Texting with my dad made me come on live because I was just so bothered. I'm like, this man just does not hear me. He does not listen. He's so caught up in himself and whatever he got going on, and he just, you know what I mean? Even when it comes down to like my kids and stuff, it's like, it really feels like nobody cares. Like nobody cares to find my kids, help me find my kids. Nobody brings them up. You know what I mean? Nobody. And they're always on my mind every single day. In my mind, in my heart, weighing on me. You know what I mean? And I try so hard to not bombard people with a bunch of messages and voicemails and communication about, do you know where my kids are? Have you seen my kids? Do you know if they're alive? Do you know where this, the exit? Do you know? Because I could do that every day, all day, right? Until I get a response. But then that would make me a harasser, right? Then I would be labeled a harasser, right? Oh, she's harassing me. Oh, she keeps texting me. Oh, she keeps calling me. Oh, So I try to keep my distance from people. And I try not to bombard people too much with communication because I don't want to be labeled crazy. Because, people love to put that title on you. So I try to pace myself with how I reach out to people. Because the very main people that I reach out to about my kids that should absolutely know what's going on with my kids, because they're supposed to be in their presence or around them or whatever. Those are the people that don't respond. Those are the people that are ghosts. Those are the people that are hidden. Therefore, my kids are hidden. So I gotta go all around the mulberry bush and reach out to other people in hopes of getting some kind of communication about my kids. You know what I mean? So it's a lot that weighs on me outside of the shelter thing, outside of the employment thing, outside of my kids. It's you know, we all go through stuff, right? And we all have our individual issues, but sometimes you just wish a parent would care or would listen or would hear you, you know? And I think that's why when I find an elder who gives really, really good advice, or who really seems like a good life coach in a sense, right? Somebody that seems like they have lived long enough to be able to give you good advice and steer you in the right direction. I think that's why I cling on to certain things like that, because I don't get it. You know what I mean? I don't get it. Like I don't get it. And it's hard to find really good advice and stuff like that. So when you find it, you hold on to it, right? You hold on to it and you use it. You use it. So yeah. But anyway, you know how people say you create your family? Like your blood family is your family, but a lot of times you end up creating your family by like the people you come in contact with, or you create your own community, right? Because sometimes, even though your family is blood, sometimes they don't feel like family. You know what I mean? And then you come into contact with other people who actually feel like family to you, right? They vibe with you. They're like-minded. They understand you. Damn. Sometimes better than your own family. I don't know if that's sad. That might be kind of sad, but it's true. Sometimes you come in contact with people who know you better than your own family, and they're not even blood. That's interesting. That's interesting. But that's what I notice. A lot of people, especially around here, they create their own families. And a lot of times their families, their blood families are to the winds. I hear the same story all the time. I'm like, well, I guess I'm not the only one in the boat, right? I hear it all the time. People that come here and stay here at this motel. Oh, my sister got a whole mansion, and she won't let me and my sons or me and my kids stay, to help us get on our feet. She got a whole mansion. She went to, on vacation out of country, and she wouldn't even let us stay in the house, in her mansion, while she's like, people got their reasons for doing what they doing, whatever. But like, I hear stories like that all the time. Like, oh no, I'd rather stay here than stay at my grandmother's house because she's too much. Or I'd rather stay at the motel because, my sister is charging me an arm and a leg to be in a room. Do you know what I mean? It's like, sometimes family do you worse than strangers. Okay? And right now, I'm actually being helped by strangers. Complete strangers. Don't know me from a can of paint. I don't know them. But they're kind and they're sweet. And they have been very respectful and very mannerable, very courteous. I mean, saying thank you to me. Oh, thank you. Coming in the room. Oh, thank you. I said, you thanking me? This your room. You thanking me? Oh, I just need to use this really quick. Is it okay? Oh, Oh, thank you. I appreciate it. Thank you. They thanking me, and I'm like, I'm should be thanking you. But that's just how sweet they are. You know what I mean? So, yeah, it's cool. It's cool. People like that, when you come in contact with them, you don't want to like lose contact with them. Like people who I consider that have been angels in my life, I like to like keep a phone number and their name, because you know when I get to where I'm going to in life, those are the people that you want to kind of go back and pull forward. Those are the people you want to be around you. Good people. Good people. You want good people around you, right? And good people are hard to find, believe it or not. Good people are very hard to find. Good people are rare to come by. I didn't know how rare good people were to come by, but they are. So when you find them, you want to stay in contact with them. Like I have like a mental checklist in my head of different angels that I've come across on this journey that I've been on so far. And those are the ones, and I know where they are and their number and everything. I know how to find them. I have a mental checklist to go back and pull them forward. I have a mental checklist to pull. Because those are the good people. Those are the kind of good people that you want around you. You know? You don't want just anybody around you. You want good people around you. So when you come across a good person, make sure you remember their name, take their phone number, make sure you remember who they are. Because when you get to where you're going in life, you're going to want good people around you that you feel you can trust, people that came to your aid when they didn't even know you from a can of paint. Those are the people that you're going to want to pull forward with you and thank them wholeheartedly for their support and their unconditional love, because that's what it is. It's unconditional love. It has to be, especially when they don't know you, you know? So that's how I look at it. But anyway, I just wanted to come on here and vent a little bit about my woes with mi padre. Child. I love my parents, you know? You'll never not love your parents, or you'll never stop loving your parents, even if they have hurt you in a lot of ways. You know what I mean? They're your parents at the end of the day. They gave you life. They did the best with what they had and what they knew. They did the best with what they had and what they knew. You know? And all you can do is give them grace from that standpoint, and hope for a better, brighter future. But also be careful and always maintain your boundaries. Yes, even with your parents, maintain your boundaries. You have to, you know, you have to. If you feel the need to, if your intuition tells you to, you do it. And that's just period. And that's with anybody. But yeah, so that was a little message. I just wanted to come on here and talk about that. I'm glad I got some decent lighting, y'all, because down there it wasn't looking too good. I was looking kind of rough. Or at least to me, I was looking kind of rough. But anyway. So, all right, I'm going to end this live and prepare myself for work in the morning. Hoping that something goes back on my card, because I had like a sudden emergency that came up, so I had to make some changes in my reservations or whatever. So I'm just hoping that everything goes smoothly the way. I just hope everything goes smoothly, so you know it could be not stressful on me tomorrow. But we'll see how that goes. I'm gonna let y'all in on the journey anyway. Y'all know I go live every day, so you know I'm gonna go live tomorrow and let you know what the hell is going on. You know, because y'all caught me in my drama-filled moments, and goodness knows. But anyway, if you're not subscribed to this page, make sure you subscribe to All Baddies Got a Story. Everybody's got a story right here on YouTube. Check out my other featured channels on this page, at That Girl Shanda, which is my artistry page. I have all my original spoken word on there, my original musical compositions, videos, original songs that I write, that I sing. all on there. Subscribe. I also have my podcast with almost 300 episodes. The link is in my profile box. Click on that, subscribe. I also have a few episodes from my podcast in my podcast playlist folder. So you can go there, check out some of the episodes. If you vibe with it, click the link in the profile to the pod and subscribe. All the links on this page, though, it's like just links to all of my different content, all of my different pages, all of the different things that I do. Not everything, because I do a lot. Not everything, but a lot of the stuff that I do. Yeah, so subscribe, y'all, so y'all can catch me on the next live mañana. Sometimes I go live twice in one day, depending on, how frisky I'm feeling. But yeah, subscribe. And thanks, y'all, for coming on here this evening. And I'll see you tomorrow on the next live, all right? Bye.